Pregnant Lust 4-pack, books 21 through 24. Pregnancy Erotica, Pregnant Sex, Public Sex, Age Gap Erotica. Written by Millie King. Narrated by Kline. Stop, or I'll make you shoot. Pregnant Lust 21. Western Erotica, Pregnancy Erotica, BDSM Erotica, Lactation Erotica. The door of the mining town saloon swung open, and in stepped Wild Jane, her boot spurs clinking as she eyed the patrons. Each of them had stopped their business to cast their eyes in her direction. She looked slowly over all of them, and one by one they averted their gaze. They knew better than to anger her. You don't get a name like Wild Jane by being approachable. She shuffled with an uncharacteristic gait, holding her stomach, and moving towards the bar that Jim Hicks had tended these past 20 years. "Jane," he nodded, twisting a cloth in one of his short tumbler glasses. "Jim," she replied. Jane swung a leg over the stool and perched up, letting out a heavy sigh. "How far gone are you now?" Jim asked. Jane stared, as though it was none of his damned business, but she'd known him well enough to divulge. 7 months, Jane said, putting a hand on her swollen stomach. "Would I know him? The father?" "You watch your mouth there, Jim. You do too much talking and not enough drink getting. Now fetch me something, would you?" "Didn't mean to pry, Jane. What'll it be?" "She needs a whiskey," a stranger shouted from the end of the bar, too drunk to realize what he was doing. In a flash, Jane drew her pistol, and the smirk on the stranger's face dropped faster than the seat of his pants. "And you need to shut the hell up if you know what's good for you." The stranger gulped hard and stared into the black hole at the end of her pistol. It was trained right between his eyes, without so much as a tremble. "Sorry, Jane," another man said, and he guided his friend away from the bar, whispering curses to him all the way out of the door. Jane's pistol followed him until he'd left. Then she spun it back into the holster and looked back to Jim. "Milk," she said. As Jim fixed her drink, she took off her long cowhide coat, revealing the dual pistols at her hips that had become her trademark. Jane shot fast, and if the first one didn't get you, the second one would. Gunslinging was in her blood. The barkeep placed the tall glass of milk in front of her, and Jane took a swig, wiping her white mustache from her full top lip. The only thing more dangerous than her hands was her devilish good looks. Many a man had fallen victim to them, and many more men will too. Just then, the door of the saloon opened once more. From the shifting tone alone, Jane knew that a storm had walked in. Today was not Jim's day. It's bad enough when one notorious gunslinger enters your establishment, but when a second walks through the doors, you can figure that not every patron will be leaving upright. "Bill," Jim said, and he had a quiver in his voice. "Thought you'd left town." "Something brought me back," he said. He eyed over the townsfolk, who knew better than to return his gaze. Suddenly, the money in the middle of the poker table didn't look all that important to the 4 men playing around it. They tossed down their hands and grabbed their coats, silently leaving the saloon along with the other patrons. They knew as well as Jim did that there'd be more than a quiet drink afoot. "What'll it be?" Jim said. Bill walked slowly towards the bar, meeting the stern gaze of Jane as he did so. Out of sight, her hand was tickling down the side of her swollen stomach until it found the handle of her 6-shooter. "I thought you might be here," Bill said, ignoring Jim completely. "And why's that?" Jane said. "Figure a girl as lost as you can really find herself in a place like this." "We don't want any trouble now," Jim said, trying to calm the pair of them. "Who says we don't?" Jane said. Bill's lip curled. Jane's thumb pulled back the hammer of her pistol. She took a drink and slammed it down to hide the click of her cocking it. "Whiskey, Bill?"
Sample complete. Ready to continue?